Hey guys, how's it going? Dominique here with Roadside Dental Marketing, and today we are super excited to go into a video about videos, specifically for dental marketing, right? So we spent all of last year dotting around to all these different practices, shooting videos with them, photo shoots with them, creating content with them. Basically, we did a tour around the whole US, right? And on this video, I want to show you guys basically what the doctors have been loving, what kind of videos we've been shooting, and really what's working and what's not working. Now, I don't need to tell you twice how important it is to have videos. I think the average screen time for watching videos in US was up to 3 hours. That's not including TV, right? That's just pure, people watching, YouTube and TikTok and all that good stuff, right? So it goes to show, if you want your practice to stand out, you have to be in front of the people, right? In marketing, it's a very common term to say, money follows the eyeballs, or where attention goes, money flows, right? So if you want to stand out, then you have to be in front of those people. You have to be shooting videos. And really, if you're not, those practices are going to suffer, the ones that don't kind of adapt to this. Now, if the thought of getting this big production team and big expensive production team and, it seems out of reach, I totally get it. You're in the right place, right? And, most doctors, at least the ones that we talk to, they don't want to be TikTok docs, right? They don't want to spend all their time being influencers. They just don't have the time for it, right? So that's what this video is for. We're not going to go into some kind of broad, generic, do this, don't do that. Here's why video is important. I want to give you guys this exact step-by-step playbook, like what scripts are we using, what things are working, and also really how to shoot it, even if you're not ready for a big production team, right? And if you're not camera friendly, camera ready, that's fine. We help even the most, shy doctors to come out of their shell using some of the tips that I'm going to show you on this video. So in short, what we're going to cover is the 4 core videos that you can add on to your current lead gen strategy, basically what you're already spending with Google, Facebook, or SEO, to really skyrocket the impressions, the clicks, the conversions, the leads, the schedules, right? On top of that, we're also going to cover some DIY tips of basically how you can elevate your DIY game to be able to shoot these videos, just from your office, even before you're ready to have that, full content creation team and production team, right? So this video is going to be a game changer really for any practice that wants to grow, that wants to stand out. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, so the 4 core videos. The first of these videos are what we call micro angle videos, right? These are short videos focused on a specific service, on the benefit of that service or a problem that it solves, right? So the more we can create multiple of these, the more that we create, the more different audiences that we can attract. So for example, let's say the service was dental implants. We could create one video just focused on confidence, how it's going to give you confidence. One video focused on chewing, how it's going to help you to chew better if you're struggling with that. If the service was just general dentistry, then the specific focus could be dental anxiety, how you help overcome dental anxiety, or the different comforts and conveniences that you offer, right? These videos are used at the top of the funnel, meaning they're used for actual ads on, Facebook, Instagram, things like that. We want to keep these super short and punchy, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, no longer than 90 seconds, right? And having these videos, it's just going to take you miles ahead of the little stock photography average. Oh, $1,000 dental implants, whatever. It's tired. You know what I mean? And having these kind of videos, it's really just going to make you stand out from the competition, ultimately increasing your conversion rate and increasing your leads. Now, these kind of videos, they always will follow a similar structure. First, we're going to have the hook. Okay, that's the very first part of the video. It's going to attract attention. It's going to be a call out. It's going to be a question. It's going to be a statistic. Then we have kind of, the core content of that video, right? It's going to be answering the question that we just posed earlier. It's going to be explaining, educating, resolving the problem. It's the main piece. Then at the end, short call to action, right? What do we want them to do next? Is it following you? Is it clicking to go to your funnel? Is it clicking to book, right? Having that call to action. So very simple example of one that we just used was, did you know 35% of Americans avoid the dentist because of anxiety? We don't want that to be you. Our approach is gentle, understanding, and tailored to your comfort. We even offer 3 different levels of sedation dentistry for any kind of patient. We don't want fear to stand in your way of having a healthy smile. So click the link below to learn more about our new patient special. Okay, very simple. All the focus was on just dental anxiety, right? So if someone doesn't have dental anxiety, they'll probably just click through it. But someone who does is like, oh, that's me, right? So that's why it's good to have multiple of these ones for different angles, essentially. All right, next of the core 4 videos, it's the FAQ videos, or frequently asked questions. These ones, you're probably gonna feel the most comfortable of all these videos shooting because you're used to just answering these kind of questions off the cuff. So these can be very simple. Basically just choose your service and what kind of questions do you get, right? So let's say it's for clear aligners. Some of the questions might be, who's a candidate? How long do you have to have them on for? Is it gonna hurt? Does my insurance cover it? Right, so again, we wanna keep these videos short. That's kind of the theme of the game here. People have short attention spans. So try to keep these under like 3 minutes. But that example might look like something like this, like, oh, hey guys, we offer clear aligners, as you might know. It's a great option for ones wanting to straighten their teeth, minimally invasive, especially if you're adult. But I get a lot of questions, right? People wonder, how long do I have to have them on for? And really the answer can vary depending on right? And you just kind of go into answering those questions. Again, this can be used on ads, but it can also be used just post on your regular social, post on your YouTube, and also for your website, right? It could go on the page of the website that you have that service, because people just love consuming video content, right? Don't think it's too simple. Yes, this information might be on your website, or you might be able to Google it. That's fine. Still, you being the one to post it and provide it in a video format is going to still position you as an authority, which is very important, right? Okay, next we have video number 3, which is probably my favorite video. To me, it's one of the most important, and that is a what to expect video. Now, the reason why I say that is because it's one thing to generate clicks and leads, but ultimately we need people to schedule, we need people to show up, right? And that's a huge factor when it comes to PPC. A lot of times it's easy to get leads, hard to get people to schedule and show. And the reason for that is always people don't yet understand the value of the appointment, they don't trust it yet, they don't know what to expect. And that's where this video can come in. Again, we want to keep it short, no longer than a few minutes. And while the other videos we talked about are more top of funnel videos, meaning they're just gonna kind of be blasted to everyone, this is a middle of the funnel video. So this is something that we send either in a text message or an email to someone who has already opted in to become a lead, trying to get them to go to that next step of either scheduling or showing up to their scheduled appointment. So these are going to reassure them, build trust. Again, they're gonna kind of always follow a certain cadence, a certain structure. We're gonna be reassuring them, kind of congratulating them, celebrating with them, kind of talk them a little bit through your philosophy, build that trust, and also walk them through kind of what the next steps are and what they can expect. So an example of that might look like something like, hey, congrats on taking this first step towards your oral health, your smile, and your self-confidence. Even just you taking that first step is a huge accomplishment for your well-being, and we want to support you in that. Now, at our office, we're not an average cookie cutter corporate dentistry. We offer a boutique experience, which you're gonna feel right when you come in the door, and I can't wait for that moment. We have parking right over here. It's really easy. You're just gonna walk through this door here. You're gonna meet this lady. Basically, kind of walk them through that process so they can mentally see, okay, here's what I can expect. Next you're gonna be able to talk with me. We're gonna cover your goals. I can't wait to hear about you. Every treatment plan is personalized. Can't wait to meet you at your appointment. So again, we're building trust, kind of talking about what to expect, so they can kind of visualize it, they can trust it, they can kind of go, oh, okay, I know my next steps. It's not overwhelming. Okay, so again, that's one of my favorite videos to shoot. Very important for middle of the funnel. All right, so I know I said number 3 was my favorite, but number 4 is arguably the most important, which is patient testimonials in video. Right now, we know people buy off reviews. We know how important Google reviews are and how people check those out really before doing anything. When you add video testimonials on top of that, you really become unstoppable, because again, text testimonials, you know, people feel like maybe they could be manipulated, When you see a video of someone, like, okay, this person looks like me, they sound like me, I understand, I can feel, you know, I can feel their energy, they're a real person. It just, it really helps to build that trust, right? So, the nice thing about these videos too is they can be used throughout the entire funnel. Whereas the other videos are kind of in specific spots, these videos can be used everywhere, all over your website, all over your funnel, all over your social, in your ads, in your email sequences, right? Kind of at every point, they're going to just, elevate everything, elevate the conversion rate, the show rate, the schedule rate, just because we're building trust throughout what we're, speaking in that buyer's journey. So these are going to be a little bit more free flowing. Obviously, you don't want these to be scripted, but here's a few questions that you can use just to get the conversation going with that patient, right? So, did you have any barriers or bad experiences holding you back before you came to this dentist or before you came to us? What changed your mind? How did we make you feel comfortable to proceed with treatment? Can you tell me about some of the differences between this practice and other practices you've gone to? What treatment did you get? How's life been like since you've gotten your new smile? That's a great question. You want to really focus on, one, the emotional barriers that they went through, because that's the selling point, right? We're trying to put this out to people that are going through those barriers right now, which is always going to be cost, fear, quality, right? Pretty much every time, or time also, right? So if they can speak to one of those 3 or 4, then that person who's watching will go, okay, yeah, that's me, and then they're watching that person overcome it, right? Maybe it's cost. I can't afford this. I didn't think I could afford it, but I talked to a doctor. He had all these payment options, and he just explained how valuable it's going to be. And honestly, I haven't looked back. This was worth way more than, I don't know, getting a new Ferrari, whatever it is. Also, another good question is, if you could go back in time, what would you tell your past self about proceeding with treatment? Would you say go for it? Would you say wait for it? What would you say? Normally people always say, oh, I wish I did this way earlier. Just go for it if you're doubting it, right? Again, that's kind of the vibe you want to go for. So I know I said there's 4 videos, but there is one bonus video, which is B-roll. So what is B-roll? B-roll is kind of that, secondary videos that you see going by. There's probably going to be B-roll in this video. That's playing as the main script is rolling. So this just, it makes the videos way more interesting. You'll notice it's a trend if you go on like Google Shorts, everything has B-roll, right? It's because it keeps people's attention, which is ultimately what you want, right? So this could be B-roll of the office, right? Like a shot like outside, panning around the office. It could be inside the office. It could be the front desk lady. Any patient interactions is awesome. Patient talking to the front desk, patient shaking the doctor's hand, hugging the doctor, talking to the doctor in the chair, the team doing little things, working on lab tech, working on stuff. Whatever it is, it makes the video more interesting, and you're just giving that vibe of kind of like, we have one practice where they have homemade cookies in their office. So we have B-roll of the homemade cookies, and it just kind of gives that warm, comforting feel. So yeah, any kind of B-roll, and we can give you some ideas of that. I'm sure we'll have some rolling in the background, but we have a bunch of ideas for B-roll that you can kind of copy paste. Okay, awesome. So those are the videos you want to shoot, and you're probably thinking, okay, great, those are some great scripts, some great ideas, but how do I actually, put the rubber to the road and get these done, right? That's where most dentists struggle. That's kind of that mental barrier of getting over, especially if you haven't shot videos before. And, again, when you can afford a crew to come in, a professional crew, that's great, but a lot of dentists don't need that. And frankly speaking, when it comes to social media, you don't need all that for starters, right? You can get rolling just with the iPhone, and it's better than having nothing, right? And that's what I want. I just want to help you get over that barrier of just having something, right? Just one video, 2 videos, you know, 1 a month. Start simple, right? Just getting it going. Momentum is the most important key here. So when it comes to what you're wearing, to be honest, it's not that important. Dress professional, that's cool. Dress scrubs, that's cool. Honestly, scrubs probably look even better because it's kind of more trustworthy. Oh, this is a dentist. Definitely don't have a mask on. You know, you want to be warm, you want to be inviting. And one of the most important things when it comes to shooting videos is lighting, right? It's probably where, you know, when we send doctors off to shoot by themselves and we don't give them guidance, it's like, oh, okay, I wish I explained it about lighting. So you always want light obviously coming, you know, forward. Backlight is great too. So the more lighting, the better, as a general rule of thumb. If you're going to be using the natural light, try to shoot earlier in the day, like late morning time is great. And I mean, any sources of lighting are good. I have a light here. I even have a candle here. Cheers. Any kind of lighting is great. You want to just make sure you're lit up and not looking too awkward. In like big spaces is usually better, where you can get natural lighting. Also having a tall ring light, which we'll put links in the bio to this stuff. To be honest, if you have one, you can use it. You can pretty much just Google, like Amazon it, but we'll just put in links just to make it a little bit easier if you're unsure of which one to get. And it's this ring light's also going to serve as a great kind of flexible place to put your camera, which we'll talk about next with framing. So framing is kind of like, okay, what do you want the scene to be? So the most important thing with framing is just have some depth of your background. Please don't shoot in a dingy room on a flat white background, something like that. It just looks not great, right? You want depth, meaning how, like it goes back far. It could even be the hallway. It could be the back office. It could be, well, back office looks a little messy, but it could be you know, the front office. It could be operatories, right? So having that depth just gives it a good feel. You can usually just set up on like a stool, right? So like the standard kind of stool that you use, just have that set up. Most of our doctors will shoot in their kind of front entry room when people first walk in, kind of with the windows, you know, with them facing the windows that someone would walk into the doors. Probably the most common place that I see doctors do this. Another one would be in the hallway, in their operatory hallway, because that has good depth and usually very good lighting. Sometimes in an op room itself, but that can be cramped. So it just kind of depends on what that looks like and what the background is, but that can work too. You want the camera, I don't know, 3 to 6, anywhere from 3 to 6 feet in front of you. Clear out all the space. You don't want it to look cluttered. It doesn't need to look exactly like it looks on a day-to-day basis. And it also helps to have little things like that, little plants next to the doctor shooting. Looks great, adds a lot of flavor to it. So next we're going to be looking at sound, right? So you don't need a big fancy mic. We recommend getting one of the little ones on Amazon, little clip-on mics. Again, we'll have a link there. Don't worry about hiding it. If you can hide it, great, like in your shirt, but don't worry about it. Just don't be rustling around too much while you're shooting videos, and you'll be fine. And if it's totally visible, again, not a big deal. It's kind of normal these days. With the sound, just double check that it's working before you shoot the video. We've had that before. We shot a whole long video, then we realized like, oh, this doesn't have any sound. Not good. So test the sound before. It's usually as simple as just plugging it into your iPhone and then turning the switch onto both. But yeah, just test it. Good to go. Usually it's pretty straightforward. The last thing, and another technical thing, is with the scripting. So probably one of the biggest barriers to shooting videos is having to remember the script, having to, you know, go over it 10 different times, right? Because you mess up, you're like, okay, I gotta restart it, right? So to help with that, we have a teleprompter app. I mean, it's not ours, but we'll put a link in the bottom. So you can use that. You'll have to just paste the scripts in there, choose the speed that you want. So kind of test it. Okay, is this going too fast where I can't keep up, or it's going too slow? And also you'll have to shoot the actual video itself through the teleprompter app. That's important. You can't turn your iPhone video on and then go to the teleprompter app. It won't work. So that's pretty much it for kind of the DIY setup. Again, you know, having something there is better than having it perfect. I know how dentists are. They want every little thing to be perfect, but really don't worry about it. We just want to get something up there, right? I want you to get through that barrier. A couple other small tips while shooting is, even if you are using the teleprompter app, still, you know, review your script a few times beforehand, just so it's kind of fresh in your head. If you have a script, make adjustments to it, right? Go with what feels more natural. That will definitely kind of come across on camera. And when it comes to being natural, don't forget to kind of modulate, right? Your pitch, your pace, your speed, your volume. You just don't want to sound robotic, which is, to be honest, something I could definitely work on. But try to be a little bit more sing-songy with it. Keeps people engaged, keeps it more interesting. You know, make sure to show empathy. Make sure that the empathy is coming across, you know, like as if you're talking to a patient. You really want to help them, and you know the fear that they're going through, and you also know how much their lives are going to improve once they have that new smile, once their oral health is on point, right? Think about how you're helping them overcome those barriers, cost, you know, anxiety, time, pain, whatever it is. Also, one quick tip is do a little meditation or visualization right before. Picture kind of how you want the video to go. Also kind of, you know, visualizing what do you want your practice to look like? What are you putting all this work in for, right? Where are you wanting to go? Having that clear vision in your head will help you to push through the little barriers, the little day-to-day grinds of getting on camera. I know it's not fun, but what you put into it is what you're going to get back out of it. And hopefully this video has been helpful. Ultimately, it's going to be you the one that has to pull the trigger and actually you could just go do it. I really encourage you just, you know, pick one of the core 4, whatever one is easier for you. Probably the FAQs is going to be the easiest for you to start with, and just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can get a video editor off of Fiverr. They're a dime a dozen to kind of chop it up, make it look good, add subtitles, things like that. But yeah, like follow the tips that we've used, like because we've done this a lot of times, right? So we've kind of been seeing what's working. So you don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to figure out, you know, what kind of videos are working. Just, you know, do the scripts that we've shown you, try your best at it, and start from there. So we're here to help you guys along the way. Don't forget to subscribe. We're always adding new videos that will help give you a fresh perspective on dental marketing and a little bit of fun. So yeah, have a great day, guys. Peace.